But yeah, so Marines at the weekend.
Yeah, 2-week pre-order, which I think's a little bit ambitious on GW's part, but you've got the stupid jumpers intercessors that have just got a chainsword and a bolt pistol, and they're 5 for 35 quid. And I'm like, yeah, no thanks.
Oh,
The Chaplain and Terminator armor, who is 26 if memory serves.
that's about right for a character, isn't it?
Terminator character, yeah, but he's not. The thing is, he's not interesting enough to warrant that money. I just think that model's really boring.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the previous one, which was awesome.
The dude for the store exclusive guy was way better. I would have just scaled up him, to be honest.
Yeah, he was the redo of the old one, weren't he? The classic.
Yeah, Torrentus, is it? I think I can't remember, but yeah. And then you've got Jump Captain. I think he was 25. And then you've got the stuff. Oh, you've got the company heroes. The 5, the command squad.
Yeah, like the Stern Guard kind of.
So that's 40 quid. That's got the banner bearer and a company champion in it. Then you've got the Stern Guard. I think it was 5 Stern Guard for 37.50.
Just dug out the pictures. Yeah, that Terminator looks really boring. Terminator Chaplain.
Yeah, there's nothing about him. I mean, maybe if they want something different with the paint, but that big expansive black on his chest is just like.
Yeah, it's just like ribs. I'm like, oh, Necron Chaplain, nice work.
Yeah, exactly. He does look quite.
To be fair, that's what he looks like more. He looks more like a Necron than he does like the old Chaplain.
Yeah, no, he does, and it's just there's nothing there. The scouts aren't being released because they're coming in kill team.
Ugh.
Terminators are 40 quid, which is exactly how much I said they'd be.
5 assault intercessors. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I hate those models too. I hate them. I really, actually, genuinely detest them.
I don't mind them.
I hate their stupid little jump packs.
I was about to say, I think we had a closer look, and the jump pack is basically just a larger version of what the Inceptors have.
Yeah. Well,
which is weird.
Yeah,
which is weird because the Inceptors are heavier armor, so.
Yeah, they've not got the stupid ski boots, which is nice.
Thank God.
And then it's the stuff from the Augustus. So yeah, the Desolating Marines are 35 quid for 5. This is all I'm remembering this. I haven't got it in front of me, so if anything's wrong, I apologise. Ballistus, not the Ballistus. The Brutalis Dreadnought is 47.50, which is a big chunk for a Dreadnought.
For a close combat Dreadnought as well.
Yeah. And then the Lieutenant from that box, I'm pretty sure that was 25 quid. It's got all the different options and stuff, but yeah. I just none of this new Marine release interested me at all.
No, not at all. I mean, I'm not even sure if it would have interested me if they hadn't have completely fucked up 10th edition for me.
Like, yeah, and I kind of feel the same. I'm kind of like, well,
it's just kind of like I have a shitload of Marines, but I've been in the hobby like 30 years.
I've got a load of intercessors that I could stick jump packs on, and they'd look better.
Yeah.
And you're doing them at 5 to 35 quid. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I thought the Necron flayed ones were bad value at 5 for 30 quid. They are, because it's one sprue and they're horrible to put together.
One sprue? It can't be.
It's one sprue, mate. Trust me, I've built 10 of them. One sprue and they're horrific to put together. Then you've got these 5 assault intercessors for 35 quid, and it's like, well, I'm pretty sure 5's no good. Like, I've done it's minimum squad size now, because it's like some from Eris are free men to a squad.
It's like, if you think I'm going to spend 70 quid on 10 Marines outside of Forge World, you were sorely mistaken.
This is exactly it. Yeah. This is exactly it. And it's like, no, sorry, no, that's just not happening.
No. I think the other thing is that maybe not give a fuck is that they're all Primaris. I'm just like, I've got all the standard Marine equivalent units for all of that. Why do I bother getting stuff that's less interesting for more money?
I've got Assault Space Marines. I mean, I've got a superior Terminator Chaplain. Sorry, I'm on the Maker's Mark tonight, and I've poured a drink. I did not look at how much I was pouring.
Dull.
So it's not a double. It's not a triple. It's not a quadruple. What's the one after that? Quintuple? It might be a quintuple measure.
Maybe you should pour some back.
Too late. I put Coke in it now.
Oh.
I wanted a long drink, otherwise it'd be gone 2 seconds flat, and I'd start slurring all my words. So that's no good.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Marines 2 week. Yeah, and as far as I'm aware, that takes us up to Warhammer Day, which is the next preview.
Yeah, I'm like, please, Epic. After that, please. Like, I don't care about the rumor that says someone sent off the wrong fucking book with all the old shit rules in it. I don't care about the rumor where apparently one mission was called For Blood and Honor, and because that's got some vaguely Nazi connotations, they had to reprint the entire run of books, which just sounds batshit to me. It's just like, look, just use the fucking thing, and the more you use that particular phrase away from a white supremacist context, the less power it's going to have overall. Like, just fucking claim it back.
Watch Monkeys for life.
Exactly. Just claim it back like it close
no,
to.
I mean, I think it's just a case of they're such a public company, and
I don't want to risk any of the ag.
Quite a lot of backlash with the Horus Heresy, simply saying, was it biological males or something?
Yeah. It's just
and I think they're just looking at what they got off that, and they were just like, "Fuck no."
But like, it's a noisy minority online.
Absolutely. Not what. Like, honestly, would anybody read that line in a book, Blood and Honor, and honestly think, "Oh my god, alt-right Nazi dog whistle"?
Graves Workshop were endorsing white supremacists. It's like, no.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm not GW at the end of the day, but it's gonna cost them money, and they've obviously weighed up that money versus the
potential ag,
and the exposure that they would get if somebody was to say something. They don't. GW have been very, very careful to distance themselves from anything like that, whether it's the Warhammer for Everyone statement or whatever, and they just would not want to go down that road. So I as much as I don't agree with it,
you see how I would have done it.
It's worth as much as GW. I kind of understand it. It's all about image. It's why GW don't apologize. It's why right now GW aren't apologising for 10th like they should be.
Yeah, basically. Or for delaying Epic.
Because every single copy of 10th should have come with an apology for 9th.
Yeah, true.
You know, we released this. It was alive during COVID, so it had fuck all lifespan.
Yeah.
Still managed to completely screw it into the ground. We're sorry, please buy 10th. Oh no, that's fucked too.
Yeah, it's just like you've released a new core rule set. You're changing fundamental core rules less than a month. What? No, it's more than a month. It's like what? Less than a quarter in the thing.
Yeah, it's 2 months. Basically. 2 months, and they turned around and said, "Look, we've got to change the core rules." And I'm like, "Look, if you're going to change the core rules, can you at least change the turn order? Can you just rip the band off and make it alternate activations?" Because I watched the game the other day.
That'd be so much better. Yeah. I'm amazed they didn't do it for 9th, because they released the new kill team before 9th, and that was alternate activation. And I was really surprised that it wasn't.
I was thinking, with these new data cards, you've got the perfect opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
Take the data cards that you've got in your army, shuffle them, or if you want to, I suppose you could put them in a particular order, and just flip a coin for which side draws a data card to activate.
Yeah.
Boom, problem solved. I know it's a little bit more sort of admin, but it's more fun than I watched the other day. A battle report on what was it? It was Play on Tabletop, which is the Canadian guys that do the kind of sports commentary style ones.
Yeah, I've met them when I was doing the expos with Grimlord.
Oh, cool, man! They seem like top guys.
Yeah, they're nice, but whenever I say hello, it seems to just completely wreck their flow, because they're talking to like Adam, and then they'll look at me and they'll be like, "Oh, hello," and I'm like, "Hi, I'm Matt," and they'll just be like, "Hi, Adam."
He's got off script.
I'm just like, look, I'm just a helper, all right? I'm the hired help. Just, you don't need to speak to me. It's fine.
Pretend I'm not here. But yeah, I was watching a game, and the game was over by the end of the first turn.
Shit, really?
By the end of the first turn, I mean, like, the game wasn't over, but it was effectively over. enough of his force had been destroyed on the first turn. It was just like, there's just no point.
No, you know something's up when that sort of thing happens. It's just like,
Yeah,
why is that still a thing?
It's a massive problem. It's a massive problem with 40k, in my opinion. Where's the point of playing a game where after the first turn you're pretty much? And I also hate the thing where they're drawing objectives that they can't do.
Yeah,
it's so stupid. It's just like in the first turn you draw 2 objectives that you can't do, so you can't score on your first turn.
No, it's bollocks.
That's kind of shit.
I've never been a fan of random objectives because it just feels massively unrealistic to me. Like, you don't really send an army into the field and then suddenly go, oh, by the way, you're doing this, you're doing that, and they're like, what? Hold on, sorry guys, relocate over there, and then you're like, yes, we've done what we were told, and they're like, okay, now you got to do this. It's like, what? So we're not consolidating where we are and what we've gained, and they're like, no, this is next, and it's like, what the fuck?
Now I randomly need you to kill this guy.
Exactly.
Now I randomly need you to get into the opponent's army, the opponent's deployment zone, even though you're gun line. Okay.
No, it's like, come on,
I'd do it.
You've
so
gone mental.
Choose your objectives before the start of the game.
Yeah, much better. Even if it was kind of like rolling objectives that progressed on from one to another.
Do a deck of cards. You choose the order beforehand, but you do 5 cards for 5 turns. You're like, well, okay, in the first turn, I'm going to be wanting to do this, so this is the objective that I want to try and do. Second turn, maybe I've pushed forward a little bit, so maybe I want to try and take this objective, boom, and then you do it like that. The random thing, I've seen too many games decided by it. There's a game where a guy is like 12 points behind in the last turn.
Huh.
He draws his 2 objectives. He can't do them, so he can't win the game. And I'm just like, well, that's just kind of shit.
I mean, isn't there some gambit nonsense that they've added in? And it's like, you've made a boo-boo when you actually have to include a gotcha like that to try and make up for your shit rule.
That's what I'm saying. The whole game's a gotcha. Oh, you've drawn the wrong cards. Oh well, tough luck.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to Adam at the weekend, because he was like, I'm not familiar with, because he watches a lot of gaming stuff on YouTube, as you'd expect, being a game designer. And he was just like, so many people are just fucking caning 10th, and I was like, oh, what is it now? And he goes, at the moment, this guy, it's a fairly older guy with glasses, an American chap. Some tabletop minions, maybe.
Maybe it might be like Uncle Atom then. Honestly.
Possibly, and he was having a moan that Games Workshop just named stupid documents in stupid ways, like the Munitorium Field Manual, and he's like, you and I know it's a points document, but people who are new to the hobby are going to be like, what the fuck is this? Why is it called that? I couldn't find the damn thing.
Do I need it to play? Yeah.
Yeah, and he went on to say, like, and they're fundamentally changing fundamental rules, like, months into the hobby cycle, and it's just like, it's like not good.
If you're going to release a beta, release a beta.
Yeah.
Here's some rules that we've been knocking about. We want you to play test the shit out of these.
Yeah.
And then in 6 months, we'll work out what works and what doesn't work, and we'll make the next edition. Don't release 10th. It's basically everybody was playing a beta.
You'd think that 10th would be the fucking shit hot edition, given it's the 10th release. Like,
it's the 10th version of the game.
And it's just got worse since 7th.
Yeah, 36. Oh.
Don't even try and work it out.
86 with Road Trader?
Yeah.
So yeah, 37 years, and it's the 10th version of the game. Then you've got shit like D&D, which is like the 70s. That's only on 5th edition, I think.
5th, yeah.
Not exactly stable.
I think what set up a bad precedent for 40k was back when they released 7th. 6th had only been out for 2 years, and they kind of rushed 7th onto the shelves to make up for their 25% share value loss from that year.
Well, this is the problem with the new editions in general. It's like, we need to make a load of money before the next financial year.
Yep.
Reboot 40k.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't mind you rebooting 40k because I can afford to buy a new rulebook, but can you please not make it shit? Like you've been progressively making it worse since 8th edition. Like 8th was tolerable, and then 9th was just kind of like, you've improved it in some ways, but because you're now catering to the fucking gotcha whackers, that fucking guy, competitive players, you've now got to word everything just so that people can't abuse it.
Yeah.
And it's just become a massive wordy, bolted on rules mess.
Yep.
And then
And they've
Tenth
got
was like,
so many different factions that there's so many different interactions that they just can't. It's impossible to balance the game now.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
Kind of
absolutely impossible. Each army's got like 30+ units. It's not possible to balance the game. And I think the biggest problem I have with GW is obviously they want it to be like this big competitive game. So what happens is they base the balance of the game on the competitive scene. But then you've got some, I don't want to say professional gamer, but you've got somebody who takes this very, 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 very seriously. Who comes up with some stupidly broken bloody combo, which GW are then like, oh, we need to nerf the army to hell because of this. 80% of the players don't use that combo.
No.
So their army gets nerfed into the ground for pretty much no reason. I dare say
that most of the players don't even play competitively. It's like you get people moaning about legends and stuff like that, and I'm like, really? Like, I get that you guys are pissed that a lot of stuff that you use and heresy units and whatnot all got relegated into legends, but really, like, if you're playing with your mates, it doesn't really matter. Just go, I'm using this, and they're like, yeah, fine. Like, it's not a biggie.
I think the problem with the heresy stuff was GW actively marketed all that stuff as being able to use it in 40k.
Yeah, and then binned it off.
And they've binned it all off. And it's just like, now we understand why you're releasing all the tanks so quickly.
Yeah.
You wanted to sell a shitload of them.
Yeah, and the thing is that like Liam Dempsey was getting annoyed with was that like they've kind of put the kibosh on everyone using heresy units in 40k, except for knights because they want to sell them. And they've just kind of gone plastic knights. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll use that. Sorry, I'm just using my airbrush to keep my keyboard.
Thrastus and Castigator and
Acheron,
yeah, they're fine.
I so nearly got myself another Acheron today while I was looking at stuff, but I was kind of like, I've got one already, and I'm only buying another one because I don't like the pose that I glued my other one in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I don't need two. So I'm kind of eyeing up a Porphyron for when I go to Warhammer World next.
Oh yeah, baby.
Simply because, well, to be blunt, I can. And I'm kind of like, I don't need to get another knight if I'm already looking at that. Really?
Porphyrion, yeah.
The Porphyrion. Yeah, it's a weird one.
Porphyrion, whatever it's called. I love it. I love that thing. It is just a dumpy little gun platform. I fucking love it.
There's nothing little about it. I mean, it's just like it looks like a potato on legs. It's like a sideways spud.
It's a spud knight, and I love it. It's just brilliant. It's just got two great big guns. It's not there to do anything else. It's there to be stompy and shoot things. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. I can't remember what open day it was, but it might have been around about 7th, maybe.
Yeah,
and they had like the work in progress of it in the cab, and they had like the final version of it next to it, and they literally increased its size by like 33% just because.
Yep.
They went, this needs to be bigger, and then they just scaled it up even more, and it was like, you fucking serious? It's massive.
There's a hefty chunk of resin, that is.
Definitely is.
But it's my favourite knight. I love it.
Yeah, it looks a hell of a lot better than the Mechanicum one.
Yes, yeah.
With the big double conversion beamer things. I can't remember the name of it.
I don't really feel like they got the Mechanicum ones right.
An Asterius, which is weird. I mean, like the thing is, some of the Forge World stuff is kind of named from Greek mythology, and like those two big ones are like the Acastus class, and the Acastus was one of the Argonauts from Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh, but was it? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and then so was Porphyrion as well, and I'm like, why have you got one of the Argonauts as the class, and why have you named the pattern after another one? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, those two things are on equal footing. They shouldn't have different meanings, like in the.
They literally just pull stuff. They just get a book of mythology and just go, and that one.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Lictor.
Yeah, so most of the Tyranid stuff's Roman.
Yep, you've got Lictor, you've got Carnifex.
It's butcher in Latin.
Yeah, so Lictor is Lictor. Hierophant is priest, I think.
Yep, a Hierophant was a priest.
What Lictor is
A
now?
lictor was a procession leader,
Okay.
like in
Termagant is
ancient
an
Rome.
angry woman.
yeah. So's a Harridan.
Harridan, yes,
So's a Harridan as well. Yeah, and I was a bit like Andy Chambers, mate. I know you probably named names as a little bit tongue in cheek, but this is the sort of thing that got Tony Cottrell into trouble.
You could do it back then.
Yeah. Edema Karen was an old Roman gladiator that fought with a sword in each hand.
That does sound Roman, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, fuck, what were the others?
Yeah, I mean, like most of them, like Astartes is a demon name. But yeah, Astartes, Abaddon is another one.
Yeah, Abaddon is.
Obviously, Azazel.
Yeah, most of the Dark Angels. Most of the Dark Angels are named after angels.
Azazel was a chaos character, but I don't think he exists anymore.
I don't think so. No. Azrael was the Ancient of Death. Belial is a demon.
Oh yeah.
Ezekiel, I'm not too sure. The name's familiar.
Yeah,
but
I would say Ezekiel probably is as well. Asmodai.
It sounds Old Testament. Asmodai is another demon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dodgy fucking Dark Angels. Dante, obviously. Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, Dante. Yeah. Most of the Blood Angel stuff's all classically inspired, isn't it? It's all classical stuff.
Yeah, it's all taken from somewhere. Which, to be fair, is better than what they're doing these days with the Space Marine unit names.
Just shit names. Noun. Have a noun. Okay, thanks. I'll have a Hellblaster. Thanks very much.
Oh, dear.
One thing that did surprise me, I found myself looking up a Votan combat patrol today.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I was reading The White Dwarf. Obviously, my middle part went great today, so I spent a fair amount of time in the bathroom. And I was like, you know what? I haven't actually read the most recent White Dwarf properly yet, so let's have a gander at that. I'm going to be in here for a while, and I can always use it to mop my brow. And there was a bit on there about kill teams and stuff. And they basically wanted to use not kill teams, combat patrol, and they basically wanted it to be like 40k for noobs. So there was intentionally not a lot of rules, and it was a simplified rule set, and they could all try and balance the boxes against each other because everything had a set config. Even if you got more war gear in there because of the sprues that you got, you had to build it all a certain way.
Yeah, and they kind of drop special rules from some stuff to make it balanced as well.
A bit more palatable.
It's impossible to balance the custodies against the orcs. It's like 700 points versus like 250 or something stupid like that.
Yeah. Right. And they kind of were going through like explaining why they did certain things, and I was like, why am I still thinking about squats? I'm gonna go and have a look at their thing.
It's blatantly because we were talking about StarCraft last time.
Possibly. Yeah, and I was like, oh, it's a bunch of dudes on foot. It's a boss man. It's a couple of those hover bikes with like the Gatling or ion cannon.
It comes with a small buggy as well, doesn't it?
I don't think so. But like the other unit, what put me off was the half naked dudes with the power fists, and I was just like, fucking
so
why?
Stupid.
Fucking why?
It's so stupid.
It's in fact.
I hate any mod. It's really weird. I hate any mod who does that. I hated the first Cornate ones from the first Age of Sigmar set. They did a load of guys that basically had trousers on.
That's right.
Big metal trousers and then nothing else. And they've just done it again with the fucking orcs, and they still look shit as well. Although, one thing I did want to discuss quickly that was quite interesting with those orcs that I wanted to mention was that orc Ironjaw supplement was completely free.
Really?
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah. They didn't release a book for it. It's just a downloadable PDF that's completely free. I was wondering if that might sneak its way into 40k at some point.
Maybe. I'm sure it'd earn them some goodwill back.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, I don't know if I'd see it with the bigger chapters, like the Blood Angels and Dark Angels. I mean, rumours are there's going to be an Angel of Death Codex there.
Yeah.
But maybe with some of the smaller stuff, like if they were to do Iron Hands, for example, if you're listening, Dan. Maybe that would be. It wouldn't like you think about you doing Iron Hands. You can have like what 2 or 3 units, and there's no point in doing a book for that. It's just pointless. But yeah, like a little supplement, downloadable supplement on PDF, and then release a character and maybe a squad or something to get the money out of people. I kind of see that happening.
Yeah, and if they knew what was good for them, they'd do a little bit of a 30k update for them at the same time.
I was going to say, yeah, double up, and do it for 40. Do it for Heresy as well.
Because they could definitely do with that. I was quite surprised that they didn't do the Heresy Demons PDF that they kind of had on their roadmap when they released the new Demon Prince. I was like, fucking perfect time to do it.
I'm still not quite sure what's going on with Heresy, and I still think it's hilarious that we would have had 8 mil assault Heresy Marines for 32 mil ones.
Yeah.
If it hadn't got put back, that's just hilarious to me.
I think we still will, to be fair. It's kind of bonkers.
I can't remember when they were. It was autumn, winter time. I suppose it depends, because what I hear with Legion Imperialis is basically it's taken Old World's slot, and Old World's been pushed to next year.
Oh, okay.
For a proper release, which means we would see it around about Black Friday, which is the end of November. Whether or not that's the case, I don't know, but traditionally they have always released something for Black Friday. They always do a release then.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. As I say, they're doing a preview in a couple of weeks anyway. Warhammer Day. It's what they've been counting down to, so it's going to be something big. They've been doing that thing every week where they do like a model and then show you the history of it, and yeah, they're definitely building up to something. So
yeah, I quite enjoyed some of those. They're supposed to be like their 40th anniversary, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, it's the 40th anniversary of Warhammer. Which is kind of scary, really.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it should be interesting. We'll see what they preview. There's not that week ways. There's not much that excites me. I bought a Biovore the other day because that's all I could afford. Build both variants of that. Get the tail off and put different tail on, so that works.
Yeah, fortunately the tail just sort of snaps on and off. It's really nicely done.
Yeah, it is. It's actually, I was quite impressed. Nice little model, actually. Yeah, I like it.
It's weirdly larger than the old ones, but not as big as it looked in the pictures.
Yes, that's one thing I was going to say. It's a lot smaller than I thought it'd be, which is weird because it's still a lot bigger than the old Biovore. But I thought it would be bigger.
Yeah.
I've not compared it to it because I didn't get any of the other releases or anything. I've not compared it to anything else. I know the Assimilator, the Emissary, is meant to be a bit smaller than people thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at mine right now. I've put mine put together and it's on my desk.
It's bigger than a Hive Tyrant is what I've heard, basically.
It is a fair bit bigger than a Hive Tyrant. Let's have a look. It is...
Trigon sized?
No, I'd say definitely not. Although, let's take it up to the shelf and have a look. But then Trigons are always smaller than I remember them being anyway. It's roughly the same size, like from the tip of its head crest.
What, as a Trigon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of what I figured. I know it's quite a bit smaller than a Knight.
Yeah, definitely smaller than a Knight. But yeah, I was actually really disappointed because obviously I wanted to get a bit of inspiration for doing 30k rules for it. Because like I said to you, like I'd given it monstrous Scything Talent for the upper set of arms, like most of the monsters for the NIDs, and they are quite an effective melee weapon, like as it is. Basically, let's have a quick look because I've still got Battlescribe open. So they are Strength User, AP2, Melee, Brutal 2. So again, it's AP2 and they do 2 wounds per hit because I was like, look at it. It's not going to do a single damage. Like,
no, definitely not.
So I kind of like, I was like, it's not quite Gravis Power Fist territory because it shouldn't be. But I also want them to be a significant threat to guys in power armor. Otherwise, my Tyranids are just going to get chewed to bits. And looking at stats for the emissary, I actually toned down the attacks and stuff from the 40k version, because the 40k version's got like fucking like around about 10 attacks when you include both sets of arms.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And so, like for this one, it's basically weapon skill 8. I'm just doing the relevant stats. Weapon skill 8, strength 8, toughness 7, wound 7, initiative 6, 4 attacks. So obviously it will get +1 attack always, because it's got 2 sets of arms. It's got two melee weapons that you can't swap out. So it'll get 5 attacks, 6 on the charge, and strength 8, AP 2 doing 2 damage, and at weapon skill 8 it's going to be hitting most things on at least 3s or maybe 2s. I was kind of like, yeah, what am I going to use this second little pair of hands for? Because on a Hive Tyrant, they're rending claws. So again, they're not really too worth taking. But a Hive Tyrant's a bit of a different animal because you can put ranged weapons on it. So if you don't want like monstrous Ivan talons for whatever reason, you can go with rending claws instead. It's not quite as bad. I didn't have the luxury of like 40k where they're kind of like, this is a sweep attack. You do a sweep attack with this and you times 2 the attacks or whatever. There's none of that in 30k. There's also no kind of like you got 6s,
which is good for me. I fishing for 6s thing, really, that is one of the worst that got carried through. I just hate it.
It's one of the worst fucking things that happened with Tesla for Necrons. You get
the fun bits when you buff it with before the FAQ, when you buffed it with a Overlord and did it on 5s.
An Overlord, yeah, my will be done. And I was just like, fuck's sake.
That's why they went 27 games unbeaten.
Ridiculous. That's why I was just like, Alan, will you bring in Necrons? I was like, no, I'll do something. I'm just watching now. Your Alcrons.
Yeah, it was the turn one. It was the turn 1 charge that used to fuck people over, because I used to have
with Wraiths.
All the Wraiths.
Yeah.
And then not only did you have a stratagem where you could use a turn 1 charge, you also had a stratagem where you could resurrection protocols.
Yeah.
So what you would do is you would just charge. I would charge them in for first turn. So I'm like, okay, I've just tied up your units straight away on the first
That's right,
turn.
yeah, because as a Canoptic kind of like utility unit, they didn't get reanimation protocols.
Reanimation protocols, exactly. They just got a 3+ invulnerable. But then what I did was basically by the end of the second or by the end of their first turn, so first turn round of combat, and then by the time the opponent had their turn, I'd have taken a bit of a beating. Then I just put the stratagem on them and get at least a couple back and be like,
yeah, madness.
Yeah, it was a little bit evil.
Games Workshop, you fools.
A little bit evil. Yeah, they were good fun. I don't even know how the Necrons play.
I'm not sure in 10th. To be fair, I know that in one of Debussy's games last week, it was I think it was World Eaters, and he was playing like his opponent was playing. He goes, yeah, I'm playing Shikrons. So apparently the rules for them ain't that great at the moment.
Yeah. Well, they're one of the next codexes to come up, so
after Marines, so that'd be interesting.
Add mech and Necrons. See, Necrons won't need a lot of work. What I hear is basically they're getting a couple
2
of
sides of the same coin.
So, that's
more
characters converted into plastic, because don't forget most of their characters are still Finecast, and GW does not want to. They want to basically pretend Finecast doesn't exist anymore.
Actually, yeah. You know what? That would be pretty good. Based on the quality of Games Workshop's characters at the moment, they did a fucking stellar job with
Zeras? Yeah.
Zeras. Yeah.
Have you ever tried to put that model together?
Yeah, I've got it somewhere, but I'm looking at my shelf of Necrons that it's not there, and I'm
nice
like,
model, but
I know I've got it.
God, that was horrible.
Where did it go?
Together. One of those jigsaw puzzles that they do.
That's going to bug me. I need to find out where that went.
Around somewhere. But yeah, that's all I hear out of the Necrons, and I imagine the Admech are probably going to be the same. Maybe just a HQ, and then we'll see whether or not they double up with the Heresy, because obviously there's a secret Heresy army coming. So I'm with the timing, I'm kind of expecting it to be Mechanicus. Is it Mechanicus or Mechanicum for that?
It's Mechanicum, single word for heresy. It's Adeptus Mechanicus for 40k.
So the Mechanicum.
I don't think it will be because they've already got a book.
Well, surely that's why it makes sense to do them, wouldn't it? I don't know.
No, I mean they've got a Liber Mechanicum. They've already had a book, so it won't be a new army.
Just release the models for it. That's what I'm thinking. Some plastic automata, and you sort of pretty much sorted it, aren't you? And then maybe just carry those over to 40k.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that really counts as a new army.
True.
It's just old stuff in plastic.
Surely
again,
demons we just don't need to do a demon army because we've already got a demon army.
Well, no, not really.
No.
Are you referring to the PDF they released?
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like the models.
Oh, right.
Models, you've already got demons, so they can just. Didn't they say they were just doing a PDF?
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of like, why haven't you dropped it yet? Like, you don't have to print them off. There's no stuff involved. I'm like, just fucking give them other demon rules.
Heresy is limited enough as it is, and to basically reduce it to just Marines versus Marines for a year, I'm like, what? And not even like no breaches, no assault Marines, no not desolators. Help, instructors. These desolators, they've got desolators, haven't they?
No, they haven't.
The ones with 2 pistols.
Destroyers.
Thank you.
Destroyers.
So yeah, I think they have the spoilers as well. Or something I don't know.
The spoilers are just assault Marines without jump packs.
Yeah, they're the ones I'm thinking of. Then the spoilers.
Yeah, or to put it another way, tactical Marines without bolt guns. Yeah. They've got chainswords and pistols.
Chainswords and pistols. Yeah. All you had to do, GW, was release a fucking arms sprue.
I know.
And just what? It's like you want people to 3D print stuff. It really is.
I know. It's quite baffling, some of the choices that they make. I don't understand.
Especially if you're trying to do away with Forge World, which is what a lot of it seems like.
I still suspect that. I still suspect someone high up at Games Workshop's got it in for Forge World, and they're slowly winding them down, or at least absolutely limiting their capacity to do stuff. I think Forge World they're well past their golden age now, which I think was like mid to late 2000s.
There's a lot of the old world stuff that's going to look good in resin, and I think that's where Forge World is going to be best. I think resin is best for single character models, not squads.
Yeah,
just make an arm sprue and be done with it. I was very surprised because when I saw they did like the heavy weapons and the special weapons boxes for the heresy, I was like, oh well, they're obviously going to do some assault versions. 6 months later, no. A year later, no.
Yep, just need a sprue with jump packs, chainswords, various pistols, boarding shields, and a right arm to go with the boarding shields that holds a ranged weapon.
I can't work out why they release boarding actions and don't jump on top of that.
Zone Mortalis.
Zone Mortalis.
Yeah, I know.
It just seems like a natural crossover. It seems to me that basically the departments in GW do not speak to each other, especially when it comes to games and 40k.
I really don't think they do, because I was watching a YouTube vid which has got some chap that I didn't recognise, and Peachy and Louis Sudgeon.
Oh, the painting phase.
Yeah, or Suggs as they call her. And in that they were talking, and one thing that clicked for me was they were talking about photography, and they said every department
they had to photograph our things.
Every department has their own photographer. And Peachy kind of went. He said he went on a little crusade to try and get an actual photography department put together, so that they release a new thing. One department paints it up. The photography team go and take photos of it from every angle, with like various different backgrounds and white backgrounds and all sorts of stuff. And then if the other departments don't like it and they want different pictures, then what clicked with me was he said, then we'll go and do more and we will charge them for it. And I was like, Oh, it's as corporate as that.
Oh, you'll have different cost codes. Different cost codes across the business for sure. Yeah. They'll all have their own budgets and things.
Yeah. So it gets charged. It gets charged to that team that wants more stuff done, and that's always the way to stop people being dickheads with your time.
Yeah.
As soon as it starts costing money, they're like, "Oh shit, no, we don't really need it." Suddenly, it all goes away.
This is what it's going to cost your department. Yes, your department.
Your department. Yes, your budget. Thank you very much. And like, oh fuck. It's like, yes, exactly that. And yeah, so I guess it shouldn't have really have surprised me that was a thing.
I mean, honestly, one look at the indexes, and you can see that even the 40k studio wasn't talking to each other. So whoever did that Eldar index was not on the same planet as the person who did, I don't know, for example, the Votan or the Mechanics index.
And it also shows up an embarrassing lack of playtesting. Embarrassing.
This is the 10th edition of the game. There's no excuse.
I can't get my head around it. It's not that you've been doing this for 40 years. It's that it's the 10th release of the game, right? It's not that you've had 9 previous editions to refine this, although practically yes, that's a thing, right? And after 7th edition, you shouldn't have started catering to fucking competitive people, and it's all gone downhill for most players since then. But it's 10th edition, 10th, right? It's an anniversary. It's a fucking special thing. Want to have your shit together for your biggest 10th release, and it's been the exact opposite. It's been a complete clusterfuck.
Yeah, the word is embarrassing, and as I say,
it is.
They should be apologising, but they won't because of the loss of
share value and other shit like that.
Image.
Yeah,
image.
Yeah. It's
they can't be seen to be doing that.
Perceived to impact their value on the market.
Yeah, their share price is rocketing at the moment because obviously they've just released a new edition. So
it's like I was talking to Adam, and he was just a little bit gobsmacked that a company with resources and stuff like that with GW had done just such a shit job.
Honestly, I think that if GW did not make the best miniatures in the business and did not have the IP they have, they would be fucked because their games are not working.
Probably, yeah. That's also another thing that he said, and he goes, "It seems to me that they are far more a miniatures company than they are a wargaming company."
The games are made to sell the miniatures.
Yeah, poorly at the moment, it would seem. But yeah, and I was just talking to him, and I was like, the problem that they've got is that they've made the fucking core rule set so simple, and they've stripped it back so much, and they've not play tested it enough. So when you start having issues with the rules, there's no tweak room. There's nothing to tweak. Like, and he was like, there's a big hoo-ha about indirect fire being way too strong and fucking up loads of stuff with certain weapons. And I'm like, you know why? Because at the moment, like the way it used to work, and I kind of went through it all and I explained to him like with blast templates and how they scatter and how you used to remove people's ballistic skill from the scatter range to make it more accurate. And, when it's indirect, full scatter. So, you might get a dead on if you're lucky. I mean, off the top of my head, there was like, a 33% chance to get a dead on hit. There's like, 2 bullseyes on a scatter dice.
That was a great mechanic. That was so much fun.
There's plenty of room there. There's enough meat in those rules to tweak it if something's fucking up. You can change the amount that it scatters by. You can add or subtract a scatter dice, a bunch of other stuff. And what they've done in 10th is it's just a flat -1 to hit if you fire indirect, and you can't do shit with that.
But then you get a +1 to hit if you're a heavy weapon and you don't move.
Yeah, which is baffling in itself. And it's kind of like, why? All these dudes are equally well trained in my Marine squad, right? If we look at just an old school tactical Marine squad, one of them's got a missile launcher. All these dudes are equally well trained. The heavy weapon's going to suffer if you move, because that is the nature inherent to having a heavy weapon that you need to be stationary to get the best results out of, right? Just because that heavy weapon hasn't moved doesn't mean he's automatically going to be a better shot than the other guys in his unit. It makes no sense whatsoever. Penalise him for moving, you don't buff him for keeping still.
Such a retard. I don't know what they're thinking about that rule.
And it's kind of like, I don't even know why they changed it. It's like, why have you changed it? Like 10th edition just seems to be a big bundle of arbitrary changes that were
I
just
presume they were
cause.
just going after that competitive crowd again, because as I say, they took away 3 ways to play and made it lowest common denominator, so now everybody just plays Crayon Hammer. I'm just like, I just very, very, very strange design philosophy that they've gone for.
It's baffling and disappointing. It's just how I sum it up. I'm just like, I was really hyped for 10th. I love the look of all the new Gene Stealer stuff. Didn't give a shit about any of the Marine stuff. The only thing that I would have cared about were the Terminators, but I'm a Deathwing player, so those plain Terminators don't really do me any good.
Yeah, you're gonna get new Deathwing Terminators for sure.
Well, I'm not really sure if I'll bother buying them, but I probably will if they look awesome enough. And I was really looking forward to it, and I was like, this is going to be fucking good, right? Surely you know what? They tried the new thing with 8th. They tried to patch 8th with 9th to make it better. So clearly they knew they weren't doing a great job with it in the first place. You know, in hindsight, they tried to sort it out. A lot of people seem to be whinging about 9th because it's just a bit of a convoluted mess.
They simplified the game and then put all the complexity into the armies. So you had like 30 stratagems per bloody army and all that kind of thing. And now, with this new version, you've still got loads of stratagems. Okay, it's only 6 per detachment. But what they've basically done is taken the stratagem and made it into a special rule and then give every single unit in the army a special rule.
Yeah.
And
no war gear.
Don't even get started on that. That was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that was 2 things that completely baffled me when I looked through the Tyranid Codex. One of them was literally today. I looked through it because I was like, oh, I'm really looking forward to seeing like what a half a page of blurb on the new Norn units, because I want to know more about them to help me come up with rules for them, and it's going to be awesome. And I was like, I want to get some background on these so I can get a feel for the rules, and it'll be, and it will help. There's nothing.
What? Literally nothing?
There's nothing. I kind of skipped through the whole codex on my PDF and was like, I didn't, maybe I've just missed it. Because I skipped through it all the way to the data sheets, and every data sheet has got like a pathetic little paragraph about that unit, so that presumably noobs know what it does, and that's it. So I did a search for emissary, word search, Bosch, go. They're mentioned once in one of the pages about the fourth Tyrannic War, where the Hive Mind sent one after something and Custodes dealt with it, and that was it. And then I was like, maybe it's just not parsed the text properly from
the OCR isn't working.
Yeah, so I'm like, so maybe it's just fucked up the spelling for that. And no, there was no other mention of the unit because there's no unit lore pages in the codex at all. Nothing. It's just the data sheets. So if you want to know what a unit is, why it's that way, what it does, it's just like, no.
Yeah, I'd rather they took all the data sheets out, take all the points out, just give me a lore and hobby book.
Just a lore book. No one will buy it.
That's probably the problem. Yeah.
None of the competitive players would buy it because they wouldn't need it. They'd be like, meh, it's got nothing that I need in there to wave my dick over the table, so I'm not going to bother buying it. I think what they should do to appease me in a selfish way is I'm going to be like, look, stop wasting my time. Take all the fucking combat patrol sheets out because I don't care about combat patrol because I'm not a noob. Leave the combat patrol stuff as downloadable PDFs on your site and use those like 6 to 8 or whatever pages to put in info about the fucking units that I need.
Yeah, but combat patrol is what they're selling. I mean, if you look at the gallery section or the armies section of the Leviathan rulebook, basically 40 pages of adverts for combat patrol.
Yeah, but it's bollocks. Like look, if I'm buying a codex, I'm clearly, usually not an entry level for the hobby. If I'm buying a codex, it's because I've got more than a combat patrol and I want to use it. So why put the fucking combat patrol stuff in it? Like, people spend £100 on a combat patrol box. If it doesn't have the cards or data, whatever in it that they need, make it a free PDF to download. Then they can use their combat patrol without having to buy a codex at all.
Yeah.
And they've literally got everything they need, which is what the White Dwarf said the entire point of having a combat patrol box was. So people don't get bamboozled with all the additional units and stuff. Poor little Timmy doesn't get confused by having a Force Org chart, which they took away from 10th edition apparently because it was too confusing for people that can't count to 6 and work out symbols.
Imagine what would happen if you brought back the percentages rule from from 2nd edition. Head would explode.
Please don't make people work that out. I'm sure it already puts people off heresy
Well,
as
the
it is.
thing is, when I used to work at GW, we used to sell Warhammer. Like, oh, this will help your kids with maths, or like, not help your kids with maths because it's but it's good because it improves their math skills and stuff.
It's good, for percentages and probabilities.
Very good. That you just had basically your ballistic skill was the roll to hit was your ballistic skill taken away from 7.
Yeah,
that's how that worked. If it was ballistic skill 5, you hit on a 2, which is 7 minus 5. So we used to. The game is just so it's all gone. It's all gone. It's just.
Yep, all the nuances have gone.
Skill 3, you just roll 3. It's like, oh, all right.
Yep. Now it's just as simple as you can get it.
You hit this on a 3 no matter what. Like in combat, for example.
Yep.
So whether you're fighting a general or whether you're fighting like a bog standard trooper, you hit them exactly the same. I was like, what?
Yeah, it makes no sense. I'm like if you've got a ninja on one side, or I tell you what, you've got an assassin on one side and a guardsman on the other. Like, which one of those is going to be easier to hit?
It's just I don't know. No, I'm being Grognard, but I know there's a certain amount of rose tinted glasses, but I really do swear it was better back in the day.
Because it was better back in the day. It just had a better feel to it. Like games like White Dwarf promoted making your own scenery.
Oh yes, yeah. That was actually that's what I wanted to bring up. I was looking through those epic books. You got me.
Yeah.
Cheers for that, man. And obviously Andy Chambers and Gav Thorpe actually. Both of them. And there's so much of that kind of homemade hobbying about it. And the language used in it is so different from GW books these days.
I'd imagine it's like I've got a few of my old White Dwarfs still knocking about, but I'd imagine it's far less sterile now.
It is. It's so less corporate.
Yeah.
Like, GW, whenever you read anything from GW these days, it is absolutely it's very stark. It's very apparent they're selling you a product.
Yep.
In the old books, it felt like they just wanted you to play a game.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense.
That's very much the feeling I got from the Andy Chambers stuff in general, to be honest, but particularly these epic books. It was very, and with the scenery and stuff like that, it's just, you can use this, you can use that, and they didn't care what. And I don't know, what do you reckon would be the last White Dwarf featured a build your own scenery?
Oh, fuck knows. I haven't got a clue. I mean, they still actively mention people kit bashing stuff in White Dwarf these days, but they don't actually go into detail as to how to do it.
I'm talking about taking something that's nothing to do with GW, not a GW product, and making some scenery out of it. I reckon. used to get back in the day. It was just like make your own scenery. I remember the it would have been 2nd edition, but they used an old Star Wars toy to make a crash spaceship. It was the Rebel transport.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, the battle report was between Space Wolves and Tyranids.
Nice.
Would have been round about White Dwarf, say late 190s.
Yeah.
Yeah, these days obviously everything is buy our scenery, buy our this. It's
Yeah, the old days was let's get you having the most fun in a game, spending the least that you could possibly do so you could get into it quicker without having to worry about scraping money together to get fancy shit. Now it's like, let's make everything simple enough for you to get into the game once you've spent all your money on our fancy shit. And it's just the wrong way around for me. I think, man, we need to come up with a different way of doing these, because every time we talk, we just end up moaning about the same stuff.
Grumpy Grognard Gaming, one seal.
It's true.
Team.
It's true. If anyone does start listening to this, they're going to be like, "Oh, it's got to the 45-minute point. They're going to start bitching about Games Workshop again."
It's going
to be like, "Yeah, yeah, sorry."
I can edit out some more the more grumpy stuff. No, what we'll do in the future is we'll maybe try and have a bit more structure about it as well.
I would fucking love to get Andy Chambers on this.
I'm hoping that we can, actually, because I've seen he's been doing some stuff recently, but we can't just basically.
But I'm afraid that I would just turn into a little fangirl. That's my problem. I'd actually call him Lord Chambers, and he'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
No, it's Lord Valrak, wasn't it, or Valrak?
Was that one of his aliases?
Overlord? Yeah, in White Dwarf, yeah. Varlak. I want to say it's Varlak. Which is back when he had hair and beard, because he has
and sunglasses.
Yeah, it'd be great to get him on. Just resist the temptation to
shit all over current Games Workshop.
He won't do anything to actively slag off GW or anything like that.
I think
he's not
too
that
much
kind of a guy.
professional.
I remember when I did an interview with him for the Conclave of Har, and I did that interview, and it was it was something I could only really touch on was his stuff at his time at GW and stuff like that, and it was just like, look, it's a different time.
Yeah,
just totally different time.
I don't think anyone ever put as much care into creating armies as he did, potentially also with like Phil Kelly and Jervis Johnson doing the work. Like the Tau stuff up until 7th edition, the Tau for me were like a really impressive, cohesive, and well thought out force. Like the Tau rock up in orbit, they've got a Manta and an Orca, and they use these to get their shit down to the planet. So anything that doesn't have a jetpack or is a skimmer has to fit into one of those two things to get down to the planet. And also, just as importantly, because the Tau don't like throwing people away, they have to use them to get back out as well, potentially in a hurry, because again, the Tau don't hold territory. That it's just not a thing that they bother doing. They don't like it. And it was great. Broadsides and battle suits had like in a Manta there was like and an Orca as well. Actually, had like rails in the ceiling that they slotted into, and they used to just hang. And then the infantry sat in seats and whatnot. And in a Manta there was like a 4-tank bay underneath like the infantry bit, and it was all well thought out. Everything on the battlefield could get off of the battlefield either under its own power or using the dropships, and it was great. And then, they go, "Oh, this is a Riptide." And I'm like, it's a silly name that doesn't quite fit, but fine. It's not going to fit in an Orca. It's not going in either of their dropships, even though Games Workshop seem to have deleted the Orca from the setting completely at this point. But it's got its own jetpack. So, in a pinch, it can still make it out to orbit and potentially into space and get back into a ship that way. I'm okay with that.
Now here's the Storm Surge.
And now here's old Serge coming along, which is another silly name for a suit. And I was just like, firstly, that model looks like an absolute piece of shit. What have you done? It looks like nothing else that they've got at all. It's one, why is it open topped? I know you were going for like a weird retro kind of artillery looking thing, but
yeah, presumably, but that's complete antithesis of what Tau was all
exactly.
about.
And I was like, it's just, it makes no sense. They are almost exclusively a rapid deployment force. They never hold territory. They hit and fade. They don't stay in one place and fortify it and
Nope.
defend it. They do not need ridiculously large artillery suits, which cannot leave an area of operations in their own power because they can't fly, and that's certainly not going to fit into anything else that we've seen so far.
I think the thing that really upset me with Tau was they didn't do anything with the auxiliary
No.
stuff. It's like here's this race that goes out and incorporates all these different species.
But we're not going to show you.
No, for them. Here's some Kroot and some Vespids, and we're never going to touch them.
I love
again.
my Kroot and Vespids. Love them both. I think they're brilliant. I had brief hope.
I wish they'd do something with them and add some more.
Brief hope when the Kroot guy turned up in Blackstone Fortress, and I was like, this might be a sign. And then there's the Kroot kill team.
You gotta say you got something kill team, and that was about it.
And I was like, also good. Nice work, Games Workshop. Surely a small supplement for auxiliaries is on the way.
Yeah.
And you
Could
know,
been like a 40k Dogs of War.
Yeah. And it'd have been great. But no, not a fucking Scooby. Not a Scooby at all. Which is pretty much exactly what they did in AOS with the Kernothi Hunters. Because they did those in like Underworlds.
Oh, in
Underworlds. And
and then never touched that concept again.
Fucking loved them. They looked amazing. I was like, you have successfully combined Wood Elves with my Sylvaneth, and I'm all over this. And if you released it as an army, there's a fair chance that I would get it just for getting it because it looks that awesome. And nothing at all. And I was just like, fucking really?
It's weird. There's some easy wins out there you'd think they'd take, and they don't.
And they just don't. Okay. I don't understand it. We need to talk about Sega.
Something laudable about GW, or just something else completely.
Just a bit of both.
Actually, I'll tell you what. One we didn't discuss on the prices. So the index cards that came out for Space Marines, if I remember correctly, were 15 quid. It was like stupid, like 150 cards or something like that in there.
1,000 cards.
New one has got 99 cards in it. 25 quid. 25 quid. So to play Space Marine Army now, you need a £35 Codex and £25 worth of index cards. What?
I see the cards as optional. I'm like, you don't need them. Like,
I'd rather have the cards and then just print off the 6 pages from the Codex that I need. If I'm being completely honest with you.
Quite possibly, but I'm a bit old school. I'm like, look, I've got a Codex.
I
hate
battle scribe.
I don't need your card.
I mean, no, battle scribe's good because obviously it's got everything on there. That's all good. That is good, but
I
hate flicking through codexes, and I hate the amount of time it adds to a game as well.
Yeah, we spend enough time looking through rulebooks, don't it?
Yeah, the data cards I kind of like. It's nice if they're right.
Yeah, mate, I couldn't believe it. That was the other thing. That was like what, last week before. Looked through the Tyranid Codex, and I was like, there's no war gear in this for anyone at all. Like, you've got
welcome to Age of Sigmar Warhammer.
Yeah, I'm like, you've got the new equivalent of relics for characters, but that is it. I'm like, where's my toxin sacs? Where's my adrenal glands?
It's gutting with the Tyranids because the Tyranids are meant to be an endlessly adaptable.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Now you can't do anything with them.
No, I mean, that's why for my 30k, I've pretty much almost every unit has the option of having biomorphs, unless they're a highly specialized unit like a Lictor or like a Biovore or something like that.
I really like the 3rd edition Tyranids that had the options to build. Basically, you could build bits of your own Tyranid. It was brilliant.
Yeah. 3rd and 4th were both really good for that.
They can't even be bothered to do Shrikes. You've got a Tyranid Prime with wings running around, and there's nothing he can lead.
I was so pleased to see that. I was like, oh, finally a Shrike, even though they refused to use the name, probably because Forge World coined it, and they won't have it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, but you won't do any fucking Shrikes for 40k. You've basically got a random warrior with wings for flapping about.
Isn't Shrike the bird that impales its prey on fawns?
Yes. Yeah, I found that out watching Hannibal as well.
I've not seen Hannibal.
Really?
Yeah, I have random nature facts. Isn't that got And they got Mads Mikkelsen in it.
You've not seen the Hannibal series?
Watch very little TV.
It's fucking amazing.
Something I need to watch, is it?
Yes. Like
Mads Mikkelsen, isn't it?
Yes. He's great. I mean, he's great in everything, to be fair.
Yes.
But yeah, and it's him and I want to say Hugh Dempsey as the FBI agent, but it's got Gillian Anderson in it as well.
Okay, now
as a psychiatrist and stuff. And
okay,
and
cool.
the murders are so inventive. So inventive.
Okay.
Like you don't see them happen. But the slayings are so inventive. Like one guy gets turned into a human cello. Like I think he ends up getting like beheaded and his limbs get all contorted and hacked off and stuff, and he ends up getting left on stage like his torso, and like they've kind of cut his throat and bent his head so far back that they stuck a cello neck down his windpipe and strung it with his vocal cords.
Oh man, that sounds like the Infernal and Rapturous from
Yes, it very much did, and it predates that as well. Somewhat
quite old then.
Yeah, and I vaguely remember someone else getting kind of like bisected. Well, no, it's not bisected because it's more than once. Like down the middle and separated out. You know, like one of those formaldehyde like kind of things where you've got the animal and it's like shunk in between two sheets of glass, so you can see everything as a cross section. Yeah. Someone gets that done to them. And I think that's
sounds like something that Kirsty's going to enjoy immensely.
Probably. I think that's one of the few things that you actually see happen while they're still alive. They kind of get like a couple of sheets of hardened glass dropped on us, and it's like shunk, 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 and then they just kind of get like separated out, and you're like, oh fuck. Anyway, I think I probably should wind this down because I'm supposed to be in the office for 7 o'clock tomorrow.
7? It's a whole 8 hours away. You're fine.
7. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, it means I have to be up an hour before that.
Okay, dude. Yeah, call it a night, and I'll catch you later. Bye.